This is Mustang Inn where we're staying. It is a hostel and they have some private rooms with little kitchenettes. We got a ride from, what was her name?
Jen.
Jen. She is Jen. There's a Jen that owns the Mustang, and then Jen, who is actually a teacher here. So this is kind of her second job. $20 per person for shuttle. And this is Leadore, essentially. A lot of
population 105.
Population 105. There's a lot of closed down, abandoned structures here. And there's one place you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the depot. And then we are headed to the post office in a block to pick up our resupply and go to the general store to get our maybe some lunch and see what they have there. This is our little room at the Mustang Inn. Super cute. We got a little kitchenette here. They left us some cute little treats here and some waters and a little kitchenette here. The grocery store literally had nothing, I mean, no vegetable whatsoever to be found other than a few cans, vegetables. Nice little bathroom with a shower. We'll be taking showers, and then they have a laundry facility. And so, yeah, comfort for the night. And then we're gonna meet Gravity and Pavel for dinner next door at the restaurant. So we just got dropped off by Jen from Leadore. She is helping out, kind of manage the Mustang while the owners are gone. She's super nice. We had a nice stay. We are hiking out with Pavel today. He's from Czechoslovakia, and we're excited to see what this about 4.5 day section looks like and brings, and we will bring you along with us. So our plan today is to go about 13 miles to where the first water source is. There's a pipe spring again, which, you know, that's very common when you're in ranch country like this. So the first 11 miles of that is actually getting back up to elevation. So it's 11 miles of basically climbing to the top of Elk Mountain, which is where we're headed. So it's going to be a long afternoon with very heavy packs again, because we've got, 2 liters of water each to last us, and all of our food, which is about 2 pounds per person per day. So we packed 5 days of food. Always like to have a little extra, and so we've each got 10 pounds, at least 10 pounds of food, probably more. So always hard to start that first day with the heavy packs. It seems around day 4 you really start noticing the difference in weight. So we'll get there.
So this is Renee and Pierre hiking ahead of me in Idaho. We just got dropped by Trail Angel at the Bannack Pass and heading towards Yellowstone, Idaho, Continental Divide Trail. Renee and Pierre just going down to Mexico.
Walking along the ridgeline, the big open sky and big open valleys. It's a little bit hazy from apparently some fires in Oregon. That's hazing things up. But if we look to the east, maybe you can see a bit better. If I zoom in a bit, you can see the open space. And then we're along this ridgeline, and we're basically following the 2-track along the fence line as we climb up to Elk Mountain. But we're just talking about through hiking and through hiking health and how the youngins behave versus the oldins. So it's an interesting community out here. There's definitely different groups of people, you know, and how they get along and interact with each other is sort of fun.
Here we are about 3 miles in. So beautiful and open. You can see how clouds make shadows on the mountain floor. We've got this 2-track that we're on. If you look closely ahead, you can see, and this is my favorite thing, see where the trail, where the road is going, right up there. So little ups and downs, kind of cool. I'm assuming that that ahead of us is Elk Mountain, and that's where we're headed.
We're making our way up towards Elk Mountain, and about halfway, and we could hear in the distance some noises that I thought sort of sounded like female elk. And we stopped and took a look, and we saw 6 of them on the side of a mountain, a little bit too far away to get a video of. But it was a nice sort of sighting, and seeing some elk. We'll try to get some elk in the future, I'm sure we will. But the mountain's got a good name because there's elk up here.
Working to the top. It's about 2 miles away, Elk Mountain, where we're going to top out at 10,000, a little over 10,000 feet for the first time. And as you can see, if I zoom in, you can see that line going up the side of the mountain, and it even peaks out way on the top there at the toppest, or the topmost point. I think that's where it peaks out. So looks so close, but it's so far away. We'll make it there though. That's what it looks like, our view right now. Above the high elevation, little flowers, they're really close to the ground. White ones, purple ones, pink ones.
Those red ones are the bitterroot.
You mean the pink ones? And these neat little white ones there. Such bright, vibrant colors. These are the bitterroots, I think. But they're very different than what you see in a valley or something like that. Much closer to the ground. Pretty cool.
Making our way up. Come along here, and you can see the line. It's not so windy right here, so that's why I'm taking the video. And then up, right over to there, and then we cross over.
Getting close to the top. Lots of this rocky stuff to walk over. Looking like we're higher than a lot of the other mountains in the area, which is kind of fun. But there's high mountains in the distance you can just make out through the haze there. And the big valley. And where we came from. There's Pierre.
Pipe spring?
Here's our pipe spring water source. This is very common in this area. The trough is kind of for the cows to drink from. The pipe spring is literally water coming right from the ground. So it...
Deep in the ground. They stick a pipe deep into the ground.
Yeah. And so, you know, we are not filtering. I think some people would, but we're not filtering it. And it is really nice and cold and wonderful. So not a bad place to get water. So we just finished setting up our tent for half a day. We went about 13.67, I think. Got in about 6. There's our tent. Here's finishing it up. We usually set up the tent and then throw all our gear, clothes inside there. And then we got a wonderful battery powered mat blower or inflator, flex tail, which is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. But I think Pierre likes it too because he uses it every night as well. I always hated the thought of blowing up my mattress every night, so it takes the pressure off there. So blow up our mattresses, kind of change into our night clothes. But yeah, this is our view all around our tent.
Water at the spring close by.
Yeah, we picked up water at the spring, not knowing if we would find a camp spot close enough to that. But we were like, if we didn't stop here, we'd have to go up this hill right there and be even more exposed at the very top where they said there were some flat spots. So as you can see, the trail goes up to the very tippy top there. It's probably another half mile. And we've got full food, we had full water, and we were, thinking that this might be an easier spot. So anyway, we're here, get ready and have some dinner and dessert, tea, call it a night. Good morning. Day 2 out of Leadore. We are sitting on the hill, on the opposite side of the hill, because it's windy on the other side of the hill, but we just had our breakfast and we're watching a beautiful sunrise as we watched a beautiful sunset last night. Loving this moment.
6:15.
And 6:15 and drinking our coffee. Excited for the day.
So we just went up 700 feet, first half mile, a way to get us, I guess, woken up for the start of the day. But we're doing some ridgeline walking now. It's really quite wonderful up here. Feel very exposed. I'll pan to the west a little bit. You can zoom in, see some mountains. And now I'm gonna pan to the east as much as I can without the sun overtaking everything. There we go there. Zooming in. And if you look way at the top of the hill up there, you can see the next CDT marker.
Walking along, the things you notice, we're noticing just our shadows as we walk along side by side, well, along with the amazing vastness of this space and how much we just love that. To Morrison Lake. This is where some people camped last night. We actually saw some Jeeps who had camped here last night, and they were making their way down this Jeep road.
We just finished lunch down by this stream. The stream's called Texas Creek. And then we're going to be going up the drainage for a while. And then we're going to be going up and over what's to the front of us. So it's an afternoon of up. Clouds are just covering up the sun a little bit, which makes it nice for this climb. But we shall see what this afternoon brings. 10 more miles.
Here's filtering at the last water source before camp, which is about 8 miles from here. And yeah, so each one I have 2 liters. It's all uphill and well, all either not all uphill, but it's all relative gain up to about 9,800 feet. So, and it's hot. So we figured we need some water. It's a beautiful Texas creek that we've crossed a few times. And then we're gonna be climbing up to a pass. So we're sitting here about 4 o'clock. We had a pretty tough afternoon. We came around the corner and we saw Detour and Sparkles. We had first met them in Glacier and had kind of been following, you know, we read in logbooks where they've been, and when we were in Leadore, we saw that they were there at the same time too. They left actually the same day we did, but earlier in the morning. So we caught up to them. They were having a rest break here and we decided to as well. Probably camp at the same spot. We've got about almost 5 miles left. But as you can see, the sky doesn't look so great. And it is thundering all around us. So this should be an interesting afternoon, but we've got a beautiful view. There you go. No rain yet. Suspected. You can see it kind of coming down over there. We'll see.
So that's what's behind us. And we're walking away from it, going this way. If we had a little bit of hail, a little bit of rain.
So we're almost to the top. You can see there's a rainstorm over there. The vastness of this area, it's crazy. We got trail there. And looks like just a bit left. I can't go much further. We made it to camp about 6:20. We've washed up at there's a stream over in that direction. Beautiful, wonderful cold water. So we cleaned up a little bit, washed our legs, which were filthy, and our feet. And this is our view from our tent. It's quite impressive. Perfect spot. Nice grassy area. Pierre is setting up his filtering rig station. Filters on its own, so we're gonna get in the tent and blow up our pads and get our night clothes on and eat dinner, because it was a tough afternoon for sure. So we're ready to relax.